Soroptimist friends and partners, welcome to this inspiring showcase of Soroptimists in action from all around the globe. For me, this mission is deeply personal. I was so lucky to be born in a small village, surrounded by nature, and spent my childhood climbing fruit trees and enjoying the green environment around my home. These early experiences taught me the value of nurturing our environment and inspired my lifelong commitment to sustainability. Today, through this compilation, we witness the creativity, determination, and leadership from women who are stepping forward to confront the urgent challenges of climate change and to protect Mother Earth. As Soroptimists, we understand that women and girls are disproportionately affected by environmental crisis. But we also know they are powerful agents of change. Across our global membership, Soroptimists are working in partnership with governments, not-for-profit organizations, charities, businesses, schools, and especially young women and girls. Together, we are driving lasting solutions through projects that address tree planting, food security, reducing food waste, tackling plastic pollution, protecting biodiversity, and promoting renewable energy. Initiatives such as Tree Planting Legacies and the Greening Our Horizons project in Africa, which Soroptimist International Foundation helps fund, demonstrate how small actions can inspire communities and local authorities while creating meaningful impact. We support the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, particularly Goals 2, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, through initiatives that lift women out of poverty, generate income, and promote entrepreneurship. By giving women skills, tools, and confidence, Soroptimists are empowering them to lead, to innovate, and to build resilience. Education remains at the heart of all that we do, from raising awareness about climate change to providing training in sustainable farming, to inspiring communities with art and creativity. Soroptimists are connecting people with nature and showing how innovation can transform challenges and waste into opportunity. Through networking and partnership, we are proving that we are stronger together. When women lead, the world moves forward. Thank you so much.
Right now, we are on site at the Astra Girls College, Barapo, and looking at the EPIC program. The project that we have is the Sustainable Harvest Program. Now, Astra is in Barapo, and Barapo is really a flood-prone area. And we said, okay, why not introduce a new type of agriculture, one that would mitigate against the floods, and therefore the idea of the hydroponics came about. We were fortunate enough that TTAEE, which is Trinidad and Tobago Association of Energy Engineers, approached us to do a project. Of course, they heard of the EPIC program. They invited us to be a partner, knowing that we were as well a non-profit organization. We jumped to the idea because we wanted to make an impact in the community, and therefore the marriage of TTAEE started with SI Esperance, and I could tell you it's a good marriage. The grant that was offered by Digicel Foundation and Shell was a whopping sum of $100,000. We saw it really as a benefit to the school, particularly in a rural area, and we really were excited. We got the cooperation of the principal, the school, the children, and therefore we said, you know what, we will go for it. As well as with our partner, the engineers, they introduced the renewable energy. And this is also something that we talked about. Renewable energy, recycling, everything to do with that is progressive.
The TTAE is an organization of young and aspiring energy engineers that are trying to push the renewable energy landscape in Trinidad. Our involvement in this project here with the Soroptimist Group is the technical aspects of it. So we introduced the solar power generation for the project to power the pumps and filtration system for the hydroponics. Through this, we introduced a 1.5 kilowatt system, which is powering the system. So the entire hydroponics growth is done through green and renewable energy. The hydroponic system was designed by plant doctors in association with the Soroptimist group, and the solar power was designed by the TTAE. Directly took all the specifications and power ratings from plant doctors, and we mapped it on our software and designed a solar system to power it. Then we utilized the grant money to provide the solar power at the system here.
And therefore we thought it was a wonderful opportunity, the renewable energy and the hydroponics, to introduce to our girls in a rural community. Asher Girls College, the entire school body, the principal, the teachers, the students, and by extension their parents, the community, because it's a close-knit community, having this here exposes them to a new type of agriculture, and they embrace it. They're excited about the crops are growing well, they are harvesting crops, and more than that, the entrepreneur skills are coming through because they are selling the products. You know, we're really, really happy.
In the heart of Douala, a quiet revolution is sprouting from the soil, led by women who have lost everything, yet refuse to be defined by displacement. At Mother Teresa College in Bonaberi, the women of Soroptimist International Bonaberi launched a sustainable farming project in July 2024 that is transforming lives, especially those of internally displaced women and girls from conflict-hit regions like Bamenda. The project, aptly titled Environmental Protection Through Sustainable Farming, is more than a survival strategy. It is a model of sustainable livelihood where food meets dignity and environmental care meets empowerment. Working in partnership with the college's Farmers Club, the Soroptimist Club adopted 50 internally displaced women and 30 of them took to the farm. Together, they planted food trees and crops like cassava, plantain, cocoyams, vegetables, not only to feed their families, but also to fight deforestation and soil erosion through methods like no-till farming, crop rotation, cover cropping, and organic fertilization using chicken droppings and compost. This initiative directly supports several United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 2, Zero Hunger, by producing staple crops that are processed into gari, water fufu, and yam flour. SDG 13, Climate Action, through environmentally responsible farming methods and reforestation practices. SDG 15, Life on Land, by promoting biodiversity and healthy ecosystem through sustainable land use. SDG 8, Decent Work and Economic Growth, by enabling women to earn a living from farm produce sales.
We have to use this farm in planting plantains, cassava, all other vegetables for us to live. We make gari out of it. We make water fufu out of it. The poverty that we would have had in this Douala will not suffer hunger.
The results are powerful. Women are feeding their children, earning small but steady incomes, and rebuilding self-worth. The environment too is benefiting, thanks to planting food trees, improved soil health, and reduced reliance on harmful chemicals. From economic empowerment to climate resilience, this farm is growing more than crops. It is growing hope. And in the words of Soroptimist International Bonaberi's vision, when you invest in a woman, you empower a community.
What if the key to ending hunger, fighting climate change, and lifting women out of poverty was in a community box? This initiative by Soroptimists Gulf Dubai made it possible. Every year, up to 30% of food worldwide is lost, contributing to 10% of humanity's greenhouse gas emissions. In Cameroon, Uganda, where subsistence farming is the primary livelihood, communities face severe food insecurity and malnutrition despite seasonal abundance. Poor post-harvest handling means over 60% of fresh produce, especially mangoes, goes to waste, and 80% of households rely on just one meal a day. Women and girls, who shoulder most of the agricultural burden, urgently need access to preservation skills and tools to break the cycle of poverty, hunger, and lost income. It's a double challenge. Food waste that fuels poverty, and poverty that fuels more waste. Enter Soroptimist Gulf Dubai, whose members found a way to preserve harvests, lighten women's labor, and power change off the grid. Meet the locally built, solar-powered innovative dryer, designed to stop food loss in its tracks. And with support from Prince of Peace Orphans and Widows Vision, it's transforming lives in Cabramaidho, Kalaki, and Amolatar. These off-grid dryers reduce waste, extend shelf life, and boost income. Women are trained, empowered, and leading the way. Children are fed. Markets are thriving. Since 2019, the numbers speak for themselves. Even during the pandemic, these dryers sustained over 160 vulnerable children. And today, more than 2,000 people reap the rewards of this bold local solution. From waste to resilience. From poverty to possibility. From one small dryer to many powerful stories. POPOW's 2025 objectives are to train 200+ farmers, especially women and youth, on mango drying techniques, establish 10 community drying centers across sub-counties, reduce mango post-harvest losses by at least 50% in one season, and facilitate market access for dried mango products locally and regionally. Soroptimist Gulf Dubai supports smart, sustainable change by empowering women in collaboration with local community development organizations. Because a better future shouldn't go to waste.
This initiative at Soroptimists is really in our spirit of educating, empowering, and enabling. And today we are here to commit to greening the horizon, and every canopy is going to be a shelter for future generations.
I am Jacqueline Kituku. I am a member of Soroptimist International.
I'm a member of Soroptimist International Nairobi Club.
I'm the president-elect of Soroptimist International Club of Nairobi Central.
My name is Mary Muia, the president for Soroptimist International Africa Federation. I am a member of the Nairobi Central Club here in Kenya, and I'm very happy today. We are at the Kabete Rehabilitation School, where we have partnered with the institution and the Directorate of Children's Services so that we can be able to launch Greening Our Horizons, Soroptimists leading the way. This is a great journey.
Our goal is to plant 500,000 trees by 2027.
In the 5 regions of Africa.
The trees are inclusive of indigenous trees, fruit trees, and also plants like the vegetables that are going to sustain the students in this institution.
So we've launched this project.
This is the pilot site.
We are going to plant 100,000 trees here in Kenya
in partnership with all the communities around us.
I'm Philip Zenge.
My name is Kabwagi Peter GK.
From State Department of Children Welfare Services.
When Soroptimist International came and said that they want to be doing greening with us, We were very grateful.
I'm here on behalf of my Principal Secretary, State Department of Children Welfare Services, Madam CPA Karen Agenko. It is actually the government commitment that in Kenya by 2032, we have planted 15 billion trees. So I must say we are happy of the organization for giving us the first opportunity in this country to bring the trees closer to our communities.
Join us and don't be left behind in this movement.
Soroptimist International Nairobi Central, greening our horizons. Soroptimist leading the way.
Very fruitful to the generations to come.
Nestled on the central coast of New South Wales, Australia, lies a sanctuary teeming with life, Porters Creek Wetland. Each year, of the Soroptimist International Brisbane Water, passionate advocates for the environment, join forces with Central Coast Council and other like-minded groups to celebrate National Tree Day at Porters Creek. With hands in the earth, they plant around 300 new trees, restoring habitat, improving water quality and strengthening the wetlands' natural defences. They return each year to witness growth of the trees, the land and their connection to it. Covering 5 square kilometres, Porters Creek is the Central Coast's largest freshwater wetland, an irreplaceable refuge with remarkable biodiversity. Each year, from the northern reaches of Australia, Indonesia and Papua New Guinea, migratory birds find their way here, seeking food, rest and safety. But Porters Creek is more than a habitat. Within its 50 square kilometre catchment, it quietly filters runoff, cleaning the water that flows into the Wyong River and on to Tuggerah Lake and into the ocean. Rapid urbanisation in the surrounding region is threatening the wetland's ability to function. Its resilience is wearing thin. If we are to protect its legacy for wildlife, for clean water, for future generations, we must act with care and vision. Why do we come here? Because when we nurture the land nurtures us in return. Because this place isn't just a wetland, it's a living system, a sanctuary, a symbol of what's possible when we work with nature, not against it. Porters Creek Wetland, a living treasure worth protecting.
Hello, I'm Jackie Schrager, Membership Director and former Program Director at Soroptimist International of the Americas. SIA is a global volunteer organization that provides women and girls with access to the education and training they need to achieve economic empowerment, especially those facing significant obstacles. We know that ensuring women and girls have access to education, especially in the fields of science and technology, is a crucial part of addressing climate change. Women and girls are far more vulnerable in the aftermath of environmental disasters and are better positioned to respond and bounce back when they are educated, economically empowered, and centered in creating the solutions to these issues and protecting our planet.
My name is Pamela Onyiso, a member of Soroptimist International, Kisumu Winam Club. Today we are in Nyabeda Primary School in Siaya County, the western part of the Republic of Kenya. We are undertaking a climate change initiative in this primary school. It is in grade 3 under our new curriculum, CBC, where children are introduced to matters environment. Yeah, they go to marketplaces to collect waste. They just do environmental cleanliness. And so working with grade 3 is important because we are nurturing them to be good ambassadors as we work towards reducing waste, as we work towards mitigating climate effects in our communities, in our nation. We were just drawing an environment which is well nurtured, an environment where there are trees, and you can see it is green, the trees are green, you can see grass. And so children were able to relate with the clean environment, an environment where the trees are well planted and well nurtured, with the environment where trees have been cut down. And they were able to give that comparison and realize that the environment where trees have been planted is very good, is very attractive. We just went out to engage in tree planting. It is good to make small children plant trees together with their teachers. We had the principal of this school planting trees together with us, and so that will teach them that they will plant trees, and when they go home, they will not cut the trees. When they see their parents cutting trees, they will be able to tell them that it is wrong to cut the trees, and if they have to cut it, they will have to plant more than what they are cutting. So those are the things that we have learned. Apart from that, we did waste management. We supplied dustbins, and the children themselves were able to mark where they can throw the wastes.
You look a little sad. Are you okay?
My friend isn't feeling too well, so I came to visit her. When I lived here millions of years ago, she was so beautiful, colorful, and healthy. And now she's the opposite. It makes me so sad to see what has happened to her.
What happened to her?
She's fallen ill with global warming.
Soroptimist International Esperance presents Beat Plastic Pollution, a World Environment Day 2025 project, empowering young minds to rethink, reduce, and repurpose plastic waste. Plastic pollution is a threat to our health, ecosystems, and climate. In the Caribbean, we feel this crisis through flooding, rising temperatures, and contaminated waterways. To combat this, we visited 3 schools: Daybay Secondary School, Asja Girls College Barakpur, and Parvati Girls Hindu College, to educate, inspire, and act. Partnering with the Environmental Management Authority and Every Bottle Back TT, students learned how to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Our presenters engaged students with interactive lessons on plastic pollution and the role youth can play in creating cleaner communities. We challenged students to turn discarded plastics into powerful messages through mixed media and 3D art. The result? 45 incredible entries bursting with creativity and purpose. Each student received a certificate, and all winners were awarded gift cards. Judge Rita Antoine praised their originality, craftsmanship, and passion for the environment. Sachel Leno from Asja Girls College took first place with Beat Plastic Pollution, a bold and symbolic piece using boxing imagery to represent humanity's fight against plastic waste. Ashley Ramdani of Parvati Girls captured second place with Suffocation, a haunting visual of marine life fading under a sea of plastic, urging us to question our environmental choices. Third place went to Cheyenne Khan from Asja Girls, whose piece, Deeply Wounded, The Road to Recovery, powerfully contrasts the pain and healing of our planet. Aniska Sabaro's Message from a Bottle shares a silent plea from discarded plastic, urging innovation and responsibility. Maya Balkaran of Daybay Secondary wowed judges with her illuminated flowers made from discarded bottles, proof that beauty can bloom from waste. And we aren't stopping there. Students and our members have begun collecting plastic bottles to be picked up by Every Bottle Back TT and transported for recycling and upcycling, a practical and measurable way to take action. Thank you from Soroptimist International Esperance. Together, we are building a more sustainable future, one bottle, one voice, one school at a time, and we're expanding our outreach to 4 primary schools in September. Education plus art plus action equals empowered youth, driving environmental change. From education to expression to real-world action, this is how change begins.
Fino Leatherware is a leading manufacturer of leather products, known especially for their beautiful and high-quality leather bags. To continue their commitment to recycle, reuse, and repurpose the waste from their products, commonly known as leather scraps, Fino tied up with Soroptimists International of Malabon and donated their leather scraps. SI Malabon, through the mandated Adopt a Barangay, an identifying project of the SIAPR, tapped a group of women from Barangay Longos in Malabon City. These women were already doing cheesecloth and burlap bags, but due to the seasonality, their source of income was not regular. Putting the talent and time of these women, plus the strong desire to reuse leather scraps, a project called Leather, Crafting Futures was born. Allowing what was once discarded to turn into something new again. With the project's additional work for these women, their income had increased and gotten better. Proceeds of the project are earmarked for the education of young girls to achieve their dreams. Retail waste transformed, hands and hearts all transformed too by the creative output of this beautiful endeavor.
Agir pour l'environnement, c'est l'affaire de tous. Le mercredi 4 juin 2025, le club Soroptimist Cognac a participé à la journée Festi-Déchets, ainsi qu'à la Clean Walk, organisée par l'association Deux Gazelles au Népal. Au programme, des ateliers créatifs pour petits et grands, démonstration de graphes et création d'une œuvre collective originale, un monstre en plastique recyclé. L'après-midi, tous mobilisés pour une grande opération, la Clean Walk. En partenariat avec Action Sport Quartier, le Rotary Club de Cognac et Cognac, Deux Gazelles au Népal, ainsi que le Soroptimist Club Cognac. La journée s'est terminée par un goûter bien mérité et, pour encourager les bonnes habitudes, chaque enfant a reçu une gourde en inox. Ce projet, porté par Deux Gazelles au Népal, a été financé à hauteur de 200 € par Soroptimist Cognac sur un total de 900 €. Festi-Déchets, c'est une journée pour prendre conscience de notre impact et agir ensemble pour un avenir plus propre. Le club Soroptimiste de Cognac vous invite à rejoindre ces actions pour un environnement préservé. Ensemble, faisons la différence.
I'm Annelies de Ruiter, a proud member of Soroptimist International of South Perth in Western Australia. Our club is taking action to protect our environment and support the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, especially SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production, and SDG 13, Climate Action. Together with Como Rotary, we hold clean-up days along the beautiful Swan River, removing litter along the foreshore and preventing pollution in our waterways. We collect and recycle glass and plastic bottles, cans, plastic bottle tops, bread tags and tablet blister packs, keeping waste out of landfill and giving materials a second life. Through the Containers for Change program, we turn recycling of bottles and cans into fundraising, earning 10 cents per container to fund our projects supporting women and girls. At our Plastic Free July breakfast, we welcomed Rebecca Prince Ruiz, founder of the Global Plastic Free Foundation. Her message was clear: single-use plastics harm our planet. Our members made pledges to reduce single-use plastic items such as coffee cups and water bottles, and received reusable produce bags to help make long-lasting change. Our annual Giant Spring Fair is a community celebration of reuse. Clothing, books, toys, and household items find new homes, reducing landfill and raising funds for our many projects. Climate change is already affecting Perth with hotter, drier seasons. That's why we care for a local bushland, planting half of over 1,000 native seedlings to restore biodiversity and cool our suburb. 80% of our seedlings survived the harsh summer thanks to regular watering by our club members and other members of our local community. In addition to caring for the trees, we're monitoring bird populations to track ecosystem health. From recycling to revegetation, our actions may be local, but their impact is global. Together, we're building a cleaner, greener future for all. Join us. Be part of the change.
Hi, I'm Helen Harvey from Soroptimist International, the Wrekin. Our environmental project is located along the River Severn, the longest river in the UK, around 220 miles. The water quality in the Severn is in decline, along with its wildlife. The only thing on the increase is the rubbish. The Canal and Rivers Trust estimate there are around 14 million pieces of plastic rubbish going into the UK rivers and canals every year. Discarded rubbish also harms wildlife. These items found along the wharfage in Iron Bridge can take from 10 to 500 years or more to decompose. To bring attention to the litter pollution along the Severn, we decided to travel its length from its source at Penlimin down to the Bristol Channel, accompanied by a special Soroptimist advocate. Meet Sabrina the salmon, fabricated from discarded rubbish. She has accompanied us on our journey. She's a big hit, both with children and adults. On each walk, we have counted discarded litter and also recorded the health of the river on the Big River Watch app. The litter distribution for most of the 220-mile length of the Severn was charted. Sabrina has visited schools and helped to make posters. She also made her TV debut on Midlands Today. She has been in action on a number of litter picks and supervised water quality testing for the Big Water Blitz. The worst area for littering is where the riverbank is close to the road. Car users are the worst polluters. We have reported major litter pollution issues and recommended certain areas for litter picking. We have joined in with events with the Severn Rivers Trust and the Canal and Rivers Trust and thank them for their support and the great work they are doing to restore our waterways. Thank you.
The sea unites what the earth divides and is the environment in which civilizations have evolved. It is important for us all to remember that the cycle of water knows no boundaries in the geography of our planet and includes seas, oceans, rivers and lakes. The project, created by the Club of Rimini in 2021, soon to be joined by the Club of Ravenna, now consists of 30 clubs, including 2 from the European Federation, the East Athens Club in Greece and the Single Club of San Marino. With this project, Soroptimists for the Sea, we aim to develop a strong and focused movement of opinion and collective awareness on the issues of marine ecosystem sustainability, its critical issues, and its attraction and its economic potential. All this through tangible, visible, and ongoing actions. Soroptimists for the Sea. These are the activities carried out to date. We are working towards the goals of the UN's 2030 Agenda, as well as UNESCO's Decade of Marine Science for Sustainable Development. Join us. Let's work together to protect the future of our planet. Our aim is the widespread coverage of the national territory with a highly professional and prestigious network, and the diffusion of our activities on an international level thanks to the involvement of twinned clubs abroad. The project Soroptimists for the Sea fits perfectly with the Soroptimist vision by developing the aims of sustainable development, education, health and food safety, female empowerment. Soroptimists for the sea. Join us, and together we can help the sea to breathe.
We are located within the perimeter walls of the Abbey of Santa Maria di Cerrate near Lecce. What you see behind me is a melliferous plant garden implanted in 2023, the result of a national project called Un Bosco Insieme, a forest together. This project, promoted by Soroptimists International Italy, funded by We Tree, with the support of FAI, Fondazione Silva, and the National Research Council of Bari, with the cooperation of Soroptimist clubs of Puglia and Basilicata. It is a green area with shrubs typical of the Mediterranean maquis, including arbutus, thyme, sage, helichrysum, and germander. These shrubs have been planted around already existing beehives, which now produce an excellent wildflower honey. The initiative, inspired by Goal 15 of the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, advocates for a value we consider fundamental: supporting biodiversity. And it is even more important for the environmental history of this area, which for years has been afflicted by the presence of Xylella that has destroyed hundreds of olive groves, one of the symbols of this territory of Salento. A Forest Together, Un Bosco Insieme, is a project of which Soroptimists International is particularly proud of, because it was and continues to be, first and foremost, a networking project.
È stato molto piacevole e stimolante partecipare al progetto interregionale per la creazione di un giardino di piante mellifere nella Mezzia di Cerrate.
And I am proud to be part of this great network of women who share feelings.
This garden is a symbol of landscape and environmental renewal. It is a symbol of territorial cohesion and of hope for all.
Reviving Mangroves, Renewing Our Future seminar.
Shrimp farms are often built by converting natural habitats like mangroves and wetlands into ponds. Stagnant and contaminated water release pollutants into surrounding waterways. Mangrove destruction and pollution cause a decline in biodiversity, which leads to habitat loss and deterioration of the ecosystem. Farming and economic activity in this environment becomes a challenge, especially for the local women. This project repurposes abandoned shrimp ponds into sustainable seaweed farms. Seaweed has the unique ability to sequester carbon dioxide and restore contaminated seawater. Seaweed is also known as carbon sink. It absorbs carbon dioxide, effectively removing it from the atmosphere. Our core objective is to mitigate climate change and create a sustainable environment for the marginalized coastal communities. Using nature-based aquaculture practices, it provides the communities with sustainable food supply and enhances their resilience to unpredictable weather and environmental conditions. This project by Soroptimist International Club of Penang has created new jobs and new source of income for the coastal communities, particularly the local women. This has helped increase their participation in income-generating activities, which contributes to gender equality in a largely conservative community. Together, we can all make a real difference.
Thank you for watching our Soroptimist International movie. What you have just seen is not only a celebration of Soroptimist achievements, it is a glimpse of what is possible when women unite with vision, courage, and compassion. Across continents, Soroptimists are turning challenges into opportunities and despair into hope. By working together, we are creating greener, healthier, more sustainable communities for generations to come. These projects are more than environmental actions. They are pathways to empowerment. They help women and girls gain skills, access resources, harness new technology, generate livelihoods, and emerge as leaders. They bring dignity, independence, and resilience, ensuring that no woman or girl is left behind in the fight against climate change. Our work supports communities, strengthens partnerships, and contributes to global goals. By planting trees, preventing waste, promoting sustainable farming, and protecting our oceans and biodiversity, Soroptimists are not only addressing today's issues, but also investing in the future where all women and girls and nature thrive together. Let us take inspiration from this journey and let us continue to raise our voices, take action, and innovate with determination. Together, we can lift women out of poverty, reduce the impact of climate change, and create a sustainable, just, and equal world. Soroptimists are leading the way, and with each partnership, each action, and each empowered woman, we move closer to the future we want to see. Thank you so very much.